A warm welcome to the sixth and final film in our Design Details series, in which we show you how to draw shadows by hand in a 1:20 scale elevation. I'm sure that you have already learned about orthographic projections in your descriptive geometry lectures, but there is no harm in looking at them again from our point of view. I've already explained that the purpose of shadowing in a facade elevation is to illustrate the depth and sculptural quality of your design. This 1:20 scale view of our Leipzig Provost Church shows the effect of the three different heights of stone strips with their different depths. To draw shadows in a facade elevation, you need the relevant plan and section views. The three drawings are arranged in relation to one another according to the orthographic projection principle, that is to say, with the plan view below the elevation and the section next to it. If we use the example of a building window, we can see how the shadows are drawn. The plan view of the window is placed below the elevation such that the vertical projection lines of the component edges coincide with the corresponding elevation lines. The same applies to the section which is arranged next to the window. Assuming that the sun hits the exterior wall at a lateral angle of 45 degrees in the plan view, draw guidelines at this angle from the shadow casting edges to the edges of the faces onto which the shadow is cast. Repeat the process with the section view, assuming that the sun hits the facade at an angle of 45 degrees from above. Then draw lines from the points at which the guidelines intersect with the shadow projection planes to the elevation so that they intersect with one another and with the edge lines of the shadow cast by the projecting elements. Finally, hatch in the areas between the guidelines with clean, thin lines to create a grey effect. You can, of course, choose an angle other than 45 degrees for the sun, depending on the optical effect you wish to achieve. It doesn't matter in the least whether or not the sun will actually fall on your building at this angle, or whether it's even possible, as on the northern side of a building, for example. The process is designed to illustrate the depth of the facade, not the actual shadows that will be cast by the sun. Summary. The purpose of shadowing in a facade elevation is to illustrate the depth and sculptural quality of the design. First, decide on the angle of incidence of the sun, generally 45 degrees. To draw shadows correctly on the facade elevation using the principle of orthographic projection, you will also need the relevant plan and section views. Our next series of films looks at single-skin facades. We hope you will be able to join us.